Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something clicked.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
So, last time we talked about an angry firefighter, I believe. Do you want to try to pick up there at all, or do you have another part you'd like to work with?
We can pick up there.
Okay. Yeah, did you have any other insight or contact around that part since we last talked?
That particular part, not so much. Yeah, that one not so much. Just some of my check-ins, I just kind of remember that part and thank it.
Yeah.
I guess. Are you familiar with the whole tormentor phrase in IFS?
I've heard, Dick Schwartz use that phrase. I think I understand it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of been on my mind a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly what's been coming up in my parts work this week.
Okay.
Just kind of I guess it really boils down to a feeling of man, I get really attracted to people who are very critical.
Attracted to people who are critical?
Yeah, I feel like are critical.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me gets so obsessed with proving people wrong, changing criticisms.
Mm-hmm.
Then a part of me gets mad at myself for letting that happen. So if I've been dealing with any anger this week, it's been anger at myself.
Yeah, anger about being attracted to those people, or anger about trying to prove them wrong?
Yeah, because it's I don't know. When it comes to friends and family, I don't have any problem. But when it comes to love interests, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I got kind of triggered this week because this girl I talked to, She said she was hungry. I brought her a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing out of her mouth was, "Why do these chips feel all broken up?" And that really triggered me. I just kind of snapped and was like, "Why are you so damn critical?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I can laugh about it now, but I guess I did kind of notice, like, oh man, that, like, I don't know. I don't think she like was really complaining. It was just kind of, I don't know, an observation by her. But
Right.
well, I guess now I'm defending her. Part of me is defending her. But yeah, that just triggered something in me, and something I've thought with her before, or with previous people I've talked to, is that, like, I don't know. All of my friends will tell me that, like, I should just kind of take people for what they say, but nope. I go off and feel like I can, I don't know. I just feel like a sucker for abuse. And well, I don't want to call it abuse, but and a part of me gets really angry at myself about that.
Angry that you get yourself in those relationships or are attracted to that kind of person, you mean? Or that kind of...
Yeah, attracted to that kind of
parts.
person. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a interesting part to get to know.
yeah, it is interesting.
Okay. Well, if you want to focus on that one, we can go there, unless there's any other parts that feel like they need your attention first.
Well, we can focus there.
Okay. So when that part's coming up, when she says that thing about the chips, where do you notice it in or around your body?
My calf muscle started flexing.
Uh-huh.
I feel like my legs hold a lot of energy for some reason.
Yeah, we've talked about your calves before, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's come up before.
Yeah.
And how do you feel towards that part now?
It's definitely acceptance.
Mm-hmm. So you're feeling curious about it to learn more about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to make sure I'm not taking us down the wrong path here. You had talked about this anger towards yourself about being attracted to that kind of person. So is that different from the part that is reactive to them? And yeah, I just want to make sure that we're...
I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. Part of me, well, seems kind of obvious to me right now that anger that I have against myself in a way just manifests in the outer world, not necessarily in the same way that I get angry at myself, but it's what allows that to happen. I guess it's the best way I can put it. Sometimes the anger that comes out, I mean, yeah, it's I think different parts may express it, but that part here's the critic that berates myself. I don't know. There's a part of me that feels guilty because now I feel like, well, I can be a pretty critical person. It's probably why I get attracted to that. But the only reason I'm critical is because I don't know. There was a part of me that wanted to say something and another part stopped it.
Okay.
The part of me that stopped it doesn't want to reveal too much.
Mm-hmm.
But
Fair
when
enough.
I ask it if it wants to tell me, it seems okay with that.
That's great. That works for me. Doesn't have to share with me, and even if it does, we don't have to publish this or share with anybody else. So.
It's not so much being scared of other people. It's just there's a part of me that feels like I'm not supposed to say bad things. So it's not really that part isn't really concerned with other people hearing. It's more, why are you thinking that? And I don't want you to think that.
Right. Okay. Right. And so that is the part that is critical of you in your relation to other people.
I think that part is a different part than the critical part. The part that stopped me saying something.
Mm-hmm.
That part job is to make certain that I'm a good son, that I'm a good person, that I have moral ground to stand on as a human being.
Right.
It doesn't want me to feel bad about myself. And there's certain lessons that it's taken on throughout life of how it feels I should be. So I guess it is critical in a way. But the part that berates me is different. And that part wants me to be a good person as well. But it wants to get things done. It doesn't want to stop anything. It thinks that a lot of these other parts get in the way. And if they would just stop being such little fucking bitches, things would happen.
All right. Got a lot of parts to choose from.
Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is sit the part that wants me to have the moral high ground in my lap.
Okay.
Just let it know that just because I feel a certain way or think a certain thought, that's not a mark against me as a person.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to explore that to move in the direction that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It's no
Sometimes
point.
those thoughts are coming from parts, and it's not necessarily self that's causing that stuff.
Yeah. And I won't get in trouble. I'm
Just worried about you being a good son.
Yeah. That part's willing to step aside, and it trusts me.
Nice.
And so, back to the part. What it was going to say was, I know I'm critical. Critical because my mom always criticized me.
Okay.
I remember when I was little, I used to always think, Jesus Christ, what am I like? I'm always doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly because
Yeah.
I'm had a really short temper.
Yeah. So that part, that's critical. It's saying that, it's saying, this is where I got it. This is my story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how are you feeling towards that part?
Understanding.
Great. Yeah. Do you want to hear more from it?
Yeah.
All right. Let it know. Is it sharing more with you?
Yeah.
Just let me know if you want me to keep prompting.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you can.
It was a little muffled. I can do what?
I said you can prompt.
All right. How are you being with this part?
Just I'm being a bit of a guide right now.
Yeah. How is it? How does it like being with you? Is it responding well or?
It finds it to be a very pleasant experience.
Great. Are you able to discern an age of this part?
It's young. It's definitely young. How old are you? 7, something like that.
Yeah. And is that around a time when you remember thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm always doing something wrong?
I remember thinking that the entire time I lived with my parents.
Yeah. Is there something specific that it wants to show you about that age? Something that was coming up that made it go into high gear or feel like it kind of got stuck there?
No, it's playing around with the idea that just because it does something wrong, it's not a catastrophe.
Right.
It's definitely something it feels. It's the feeling like every mistake is life or death.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, and that message of it not being, is it kind of able to internalize that? Sometimes I worry, like, that we can kind of lecture parts, like, so is that coming from, I'm
There's no
just telling it
lecturing
it's
going on
not,
right
or,
now.
yeah, okay, yeah.
This part is throwing eggs against the wall, turning cartons of milk upside down, rolling around in the mud.
Doing what it wants.
Yeah, it decided that it wants to act like 6-month-old puppy and break as much shit as possible.
Yeah, break the rules, right?
It's okay.
Yeah.
And fun. I'm just sitting here and watching them.
Yeah. And how do you feel seeing him enjoy all that?
Like, he looks a little ridiculous, but it's okay that he looks ridiculous. What's the big deal?
Right. Does he want you to, like, join him in that, or to be closer with him, or do you want to see how that would feel to close that gap?
I try to join him. There's a part of me that feels like, well, I'm too grown to do all this stuff right now.
Sure.
There's a part of me that feels like it's okay for me to watch, but I don't want to participate.
Mm-hmm. Maybe check with the part, the 7-year-old, and just see where he would like you. Does he want you closer? Does he feel like it's like, does it feel right to him? Yeah, okay. So maybe those parts that are holding you back, maybe you can ask them to step out.
They don't want to.
They don't want to.
Mm-mm.
Fair enough.
There's a part that feels like I'm not responsible enough to, so.
Not responsible enough to be that close to him.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He's not going to let that happen.
Yeah. It makes sense as a protective part. That's what they do. What's that part's concern?
That I'm
If
not
you were,
responsible enough.
and what would that look like? What does that mean? I mean, what would go wrong?
I'd look like an idiot.
Okay. Sounds like a different message from being irresponsible. Maybe you could ask that part what its concern is, like, look like an idiot. What would be bad about that?
Well, you're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel towards that part that says you're not supposed to?
Compassionate.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I know it's a tiresome job feeling like you have to be one of the only adults in the room.
Yes. And can you appreciate his concern, his intention to protect, the pain behind looking like an idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can. He doesn't want to feel those feelings of embarrassment or rejection,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
In the end, it kind of feels like life or death.
Right. And how old does he think you are?
12.
Mm-hmm. And what would he rather be doing? If you could take that concern away from him, if you could, work with this younger part without that, without that coming up, that embarrassment, what would he rather be doing with his energy?
So he would like to play as well, but
Mm-hmm. What kind of play does he like?
He likes to role play.
Mm-hmm. And what would he need from you to feel more trusting of you, feel like you were more responsible in order to be around that 7-year-old part?
He thinks I'll hurt the 7-year-old part.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks the 7-year-old part is beautiful.
Yes.
But he's afraid of me. He's afraid that I'll judge it and I'll stop him. I'll
Right.
be mean to him.
Right. And there have been parts that have judged, or maybe other people who have judged. So that makes sense. And how are you being with him now? Is he aware of you? Is he aware of you in your current age and your current self-power?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know things have been certain ways. But I know if I keep spending time with my critical parts, some of my other parts won't have to be as scared of.
Right. Right.
I want them to know that too.
Right.
Oh, what are they? That part feels like that would be awesome. That would be such a relief.
Yeah.
But too scared to let go right now. But
Yeah.
oh man, just I swear it's just like a wave of euphoria through my body for a second.
Nice. Yeah, as you're being with that protective part and showing it who you really are, and you're not judging it. It's like letting it see who you really are.
And
And I think you're 100% right about that process of spending time with these parts one at a time. And they kind of all communicate with each other to some degree, and the whole system responds more and more as they each build trust with you.
I'm so thankful for my tormentors.
Yeah.
It's weird, you know, those people in life that really piss you off or get under your skin in some form or fashion. So easy to hate them.
Right.
But it's one of the quickest windows into your soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these are people that are a part of you. They're with you, love them or hate them. So
I said that for the part of me that gets angry at myself for letting certain things happen to me.
mm-hmm.
Felt like he needed to hear that. That part wants to just, that part feels like its role is to be vigilant,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard.
Yeah.
But I can help that part.
Right.
I can help lead it. And I have no problem letting that part be a discerning guide for the rest of me.
Right.
But it does have to stop being a big meanie to some of the other parts.
Sure. Yeah, and as long as you understand, you understand why it has that role, then and it has that trust in you that you can help those other parts, so or heal them so that it doesn't feel the need to do that.
I don't know
I bet it
which
would like
part
that.
that part was a big meanie. Or funny thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could ask. I imagine that 7-year-old's tired of being told he looks like an idiot.
Yeah. I had to tell the 7-year-old that he's not allowed to throw eggs at the other part, though.
Sure.
He's still just doing that, breaking shit.
Yeah. You could even you could find even another part, like if you're not going to the 7-year-old, let's say right now, you can even find other parts to join in, to be with them, other parts that if he wants, you could check with him of like, who does he want around? Again, kind of assuming that you're not like going all in with that part right now. Sometimes that's an option.
He just wants me around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you respond to him when he tells you he wants you around?
Give him a hug. Give myself a hug.
Mm-hmm.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. Awesome and full of awesome parts. I know you're at work, so I'm watching the clock. We can take this, we can go wherever you want to go next.
It's probably a good idea to come back to the real world.
All right.
Come back to the outside world, I guess I should say. So I know my parts.
Yeah. They're very real. But you might ask them before you go, just if there's anything that they want from you again, kind of as you come back, or ways that they might want to hear from you later or something.
Yeah, I'm back outside now.
All right. Cool. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Seeing all this.
Yeah.
And knowing that like you're into it and you're going to be back for these parts, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, man. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. You too. You're doing good things.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'll see you,
All right, man.
James.
Hope so. Take it easy.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.